Hey, good morning, everyone. It's Louisa from Canada. It is Thursday, February the 19th, and we had some news this morning at 8:30. Let's just take a look at that. We had unemployment claims. So previous month was 229,000, forecasted for 223, and we came in at 206. So we came in less unemployment claims than forecasted. So Uh, good for the people, not so great for the Fed. Let's see what else we have here. Philly Fed Manufacturing Index. So 7.5 was forecasted, 12.6 was the current month, and then today at 6.3. So manufacturing index is higher than anticipated. Now we've got pending home sales at 10 a.m. this morning, and then we have news again tomorrow. So we've got 10 a.m. news coming in hot. Not red folder event, but still. So I'm just going to put this on my chart. Home sales. Hey, good morning, Frank. Oh, from Germany. How nice. Oh, perfect. Hi, Gary. Good morning. So we had a beautiful move last night, overnight in London. I woke up about 15 minutes too late to take the trade, which really miffs me this morning. But if you have not seen the trade, see if you can spot it on the 5 minute. And it's an A+ setup, and this is basically what we're looking for. So this is a bearish move. So we have price moving higher. It leaves an inverted fair value gap. Price comes back into this inverted fair value gap. Price moves up again, purges this liquidity here, drops, touches back into what is now an inverted fair value gap. We have a change in the state of delivery, and then price moves down. This is your breaker right here. This is what a bearish A+ setup looks like for a smart money reversal. Good morning, Polderschnack. Good morning. So this is what you're looking for, and see if you can find it in London on the 5 minute, and just tell me or put in the chat what time that 5 minute candle printed that started the move. See if you can find it. It's a beautiful setup. So what we want to see what I want to see in Asia is I want to see Asia not trend, but I want to see Asia range. So I don't want to give away the trade there, but see if you can put in the chat the time on the 5 minute that was the manipulation. Find that manipulation candle if you can. Beautiful move down. So this is what I'm looking at this morning. I am anticipating lows now to be put in for the remainder of the week, which is what I said at the beginning of the week, that I'd be looking for lower prices. So price moved into this overnight, moved into this new day opening gap, but I'm looking at the new week opening gap down here. And then we have this SIBI down here, which is kind of like the last defense. Once this is given up, then we're looking at potentially prices coming down to the sell side, which is, let's just look on the 1 hour. It's easier. 1 second. Here we are. So drawn liquidity down here if this SIBI gets taken out. So we had a nice move down from the hourly SIBI last night. Some nice move down. So today I'll be looking to see if price moves down into the new week opening gap, and then we're in this hourly BISI here. So I'll be looking to see if this becomes support or resistance. If these two areas give up the fight, then we're looking at potentially price coming down to sell side. Doesn't have to do it today, but we've got news at 10 a.m. and we have news tomorrow. So that's what I'm looking at on the higher time frame. Yep, so really good question, Polterschnack. Generally, not always, but generally, when we get a manipulation in London to move lower, we're going to see a continuation in New York. Not always, but that is a fair assumption to make. Well, remember, for price to go down, it has to go up first. So we can have manipulation. I'll be looking for manipulation, like in the macro 945. There's going to be some type of manipulation. There could be. Hey, good morning. So yeah, so beautiful, beautiful. Like this is just, to me, this is an A plus setup right here. So we'll just take a quick look at it, guys, on the 5 minutes. So here's what I like to see in Asia. I want to see range, right? This is what I want to see. I don't want to see from A to B. If there's an A to B movement, so from A to B, um, then I don't look for a London trade. If I see Asia ranging like this, it's engineering liquidity above and below. So then all we do is after 2:30 a.m., this manipulation happens from 2:30 forward. Between 2:30 and 4 a.m., there often is manipulation. So last night, this candle printed at 320. This was just such a beautiful setup. So we got nice engineering of liquidity. London came up, took the high. So we took out this Asia high here. Then price came down. See this fair value gap in here? This becomes the inverted fair value gap. But on the way up, this is a BISI. Price comes down. Price comes back up. We purge this liquidity. Then we come down, a nice displacement. Now you have to go down onto the smaller time frame to find the entry model into the fair value gap. You won't see it on the 5 minute, but you just keep going down in time until you find that fair value gap, and that's your entry. So let's just go down to like maybe the 2 minute. So there's the fair value gap. There's your change in the state of delivery, and the fair value gap is right here on the 2 minute. Boom. Price comes down, candle comes back in, there's your entry. Oh, the 2 minute right there. That is manipulation. So that's what I look for when I'm trading London, this exact setup. Now it could be a bullish setup as well, right? So it just depends which way London either takes the high or the low of Asia, and it generally is it manipulation does not happen before 2:30. So you start looking, get on the charts around 2 a.m. in anticipation of manipulation between 2:30 and 4 a.m. If it doesn't happen by 4 a.m., then I wouldn't. I'd wait for another time, and then it's just a beautiful rundown. So we might be anticipating a continuation in New York AM this morning, but I'm anticipating lower prices. So now we have price distortion. Price did dip into this new day opening gap, but below here is the new week opening gap. So anticipating price potentially looking to come down to here. That's kind of what's on my mind this morning. Let's just see here. Morning, Heat Trader. I entered on London after closure below the inverted fair value gap, but then it went up again for another manipulation. What time was that, Polterschneck? And what time frame were you on? Yeah, that's why I'm asking what time candle did you enter on and what time? How can you avoid that? A little bit more patience. You don't have to be the first one in the trade. Let's say you saw this on the 5-minute, right? You saw a nice displacement. We come back up, we take it again on the 5-minute at 255. So let's just take a look at that. Let's go to the 5-minute. Let's go to 255. So 255. You were over here. 255. 45, 50, 55. Okay, so you entered on this candle. So price came up. Okay, and this is on the 5-minute. Okay, so price came up. We made that fair value gap, so that's great. Okay, I'm just gonna share what's on my mind here. Okay, this is by no means criticism because this is very hard. Okay, like it looks so easy in hindsight to catch these moves, but it takes time and time and time of practice. But the 255 candle on the 5-minute, you entered on the bottom of the displacement. So nice displacement down, but we want to see this. A second here. We want to see this. Second. Second here. Screwed up my candles now. We want to see a breaker block, right? So we want to see price come up. We want to see it come down into a fair value gap. So we got to make this smaller. We want to see it come into this fair value gap. This is where you entered. We want to see price come back up, purge this high, come below, and then this candle we want to see come back into this fair value gap, this inverted fair value gap, which is now an inverted fair value gap. Change of the state of delivery is here. That's what we want to see. So let's go back to your trade. So price came up. I can see why you would think that this would be purged because it is a purge of this candle. So very good. After 230, perfect. But you entered on this 5-minute candle here, which is the bottom of displacement. So you kind of don't want to be entering on the bottom of displacement. Now we're looking for a breaker block, right? So price comes up, purges, price comes down, anticipate price coming up one more push up, which is this one, then price coming back down through this inverted fair value gap. This was your fair value gap going up. This is your BISI going up. So you got this right. But when price came down through this fair value gap, you need to anticipate price coming back up. And here's why. And I'm going to quickly go over this because it's 9:25. So when Smart Money does a Smart Money reversal, this is how it's screwing everybody out of their money. So it takes price up. Okay, so right here, people are like, oh, okay, price is going long. So they're going to get in and their stops are going to be somewhere down here. Then Smart Money takes price down and it takes out all the buyers who bought in here because this is a fair value gap. So it takes all the stops from here. Then it comes back up and it takes out all the people here who are going long as well. So it takes out the stops here, takes out the stops down here, takes out the stops down here, and then eventually drops. So this fair value gap next time pull this BISI over, wait for price to come above it. It has to come back down through it. And then your change in the state of delivery on the 5-minute would have been, this is the last push up. So your change in the state of delivery would be right here. That's the adjustment that you need to make, is patience and wait for this fair value gap to become the inverted fair value gap. Once price taps into this and uses this as resistance, then this is a high probability trade. Okay, so that's the only change. What I would do, like if you were on the 5-minute, I would be going down onto the lower time frames. And again, guys, there's no reason that we need to be the first one to the party. Okay, let's say we stayed on the 5-minute, because I do love the 5-minute time frame. Let's say we didn't get in on the trade here. This is early entry on this trade, okay? No shame in not making this entry, but you know when there's this kind of setup, a smart money reversal into, let me just point this out. This is what makes this an extra high probability trade, is above Asia, there is a PD array. Boom. As soon as, so we're not just taking out Asia, but we're in a SIBI, and that's what made this an A plus 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 setup. Okay. So the next entry, so let's say, okay, you're like, oh my God, I'm on the 5-minute. Now I see price has inverted from this inverted fair value gap. I would go down to like maybe the 2-minute, and I would look for the next entry. So price starts to drop, drop, drop. I'd go down to the 1-minute because I'm looking for my entry. Drop, drop, drop. Where would my entry be? On the 1-minute, little bit of chatter here. Here is a possible entry right here. This green candle, this would be a SIBI, of course. This is a SIBI. Here we get price distortion. What time is this? 3:54. Price distortion, price distortion, price distortion. You got to wait this out. And your terminus probably would have been like the low of Asia, right? Probably around here. And that's when, once we get through here, second stage distribution. And then here we are in price just chattering here. This is just price distortion here, right? So could be a continuation from this morning. Okay, so it's 9:28. So let's just, but very good. Like you were super, super close. Okay. Holder Shack 525. Okay. This week there seems to be a lot of these setups. Yes, a lot, and not so much this week because we've been really in a lot of price distortion this week, where you get the inverted fair value gap, but instead of the price retracing, it will continue in the direction it was supposed to. Is there an entry for this? Well, you know what? It always looks perfect on paper, and you have to go back in your charts in different time frames and look for these smart money reversals and then study them. Some of them are perfect and easy to see. Some of them on the 1-minute, you're not seeing the inverted fair value gap because you need a 15-second or 30-second. So that's what makes trading difficult, right? So easy to see the setup in hindsight, but we're dealing with a market that's moving at a time where you need to make decisions. So don't be in such a rush to get in on that first inverted fair value gap. Like just give the trade a little bit more time. Look for the next fair value gap to get in on, and then just keep your trade a little bit shorter. And then over time, as you get better at this, you'll start to take the trades like closer to the beginning of the smart money reversals. And on a run like this, where Asia has ranged and then it's come and London has come up into a fair value gap, this is a high, high, high probability trade. This is like, to me, when I see this, is beautiful to see. I love it. So London does this a couple of times a week generally. And again, manipulation is after 2:30 and to about 4 a.m. Sometimes I've seen it 4:15, but I want to see it by 4 a.m. Good morning, Sharka. Good morning, XMT. ICT teaches When the run into a pool of liquidity with only a wick but no candle bodies close above that liquidity, he expects one more run up before the reversal. Okay, let me digest that again. ICT teaches when the run into a pool of liquidity with only a wick but no candle bodies close above that liquidity, he expects one more run up. Yeah, so that's XMT. Thank you. That's another great tip. So, guys, absorb that one. That one is gold. Yeah. So again, I love the 5 minute, like I really, really do. And I saw this. I think I woke I think I woke back up at about I think it was closer to it was closer to 3 o'clock. I think I woke up down here, and as soon as I saw the setup, I was like, I missed it because I'm not going to chase it, right? But it was a beautiful setup. And that's what I'm looking for 2 or 3 times a week, right? It's that beautiful perfection of IPTA. It really is beautiful. And you just have to wait for it. You can't force it. You can't make it happen. You can't pretend things are there that aren't there. Just remember, guys, we've got 10 a.m. news this morning. It's orange folder, but we do have news. Okay, so let me just get into like what's happening here this morning. So if price is going to go lower, I'd like to see it manipulate back up. Maybe we've got this nice SIBI up here. Got this SIBI up here. This is on the 2 minute. I'd like to see price come up, maybe do another sweep, and then we've got this new week opening gap down here. So that's what I'm looking at. In the summertime, that is. What? I'm missing that. Donald. Yeah, so Donald, you got to rotate through the time frames, right? Sometimes you got to dig. If you don't see it on the 5 minute, dig down to the 2 minute. If you don't see it on the 2 minute, dig down to the 1 minute. If you don't see it on the 1 minute, but you see this play over and over and over time, like so I know sometimes you guys have seen me take the trade and you're thinking, okay, there's no inverted fair value gap. It's just I've seen it so many times that I know on the lower time frame it's there. And then just take a quick screenshot. This is the bullish entry, right? So this is the play down. Here's your fair value gap. Price comes back into it. The last push down, here's your SMT. Fair value gap coming out. Change of the state of delivery. Price comes back into this inverted fair value gap and then moves up. It's super simple. Did we get an SMT last night? I'm going to go back and check after we check things out here. Yeah. Let me know. Let me know if you got an SMT on that 5 minute yesterday. Anyway, like bravo that you saw it, that you recognized it. Like bravo. You just needed to be a tiny bit more patient and get that breaker. If you can make a course correction on that, is a little bit more patience. Or move down to the smaller time frame to get those earlier fair value gaps or fair value gaps. Okay, so it's 9:34. So I'm on the 2 minute. Waiting for YM to take out this daily candle. NQ and ES have both taken out this candle and YM has not. This is on the daily. Here we go into the new week opening gap. Boy, no manipulation, eh? 9:30. I look for the SMT for London, and the only one I found was 3 a.m. hourly with my. I'm gonna go back and look at that. Again, an SMT is a confluence. Like we had a higher time frame PD array, inverted fair value gap, breaker block, balance price range, change in the state of delivery. 5 out of 6 things. That's still it's a high probability trade. I'd love to see the SMT for a plus, plus, plus. But if I had been awake, I would have taken that trade. Okay, so we've had a wick down into the new week opening gap. SMT above. Change in the state of delivery, but it's not 9:45 yet, and we have 10 a.m. news, but it's orange folder news. I'm just going to go down to the 1 minute. Previous day low on ES is taken. Previous day low on NQ is not taken. Previous day low on YM is taken. We're way below midnight. It would have been nice to have taken that London trade and stayed in it. That would have been a beautiful run because you'd have enough points in the bank to be able to have your stop loss high enough to make it through the open chatter. So everyone has taken previous day low except NQ. SMT, there's an SMT at the top as well on the 30-minute. I'd like to see price come up. Like we're way below midnight. I don't like to sell below midnight. I want to be above midnight before I sell. So I'd like to see price come up and then go short. That's ideally what I'd like to see. Because right now we've got a wick to the upside, purging this liquidity here with an SMT. That's fine, but we also have one to the downside. I'm just talking out loud here. Changing the state of delivery to the upside. Macro starting. It's messy, even on the 1 minute. We don't have a fair value gap. There's the inverted fair value gap. We came down, we came back into it, we came down. SMT, price coming up above change in a state of delivery. I'm just talking out loud. Back into the range if there was a fair value gap here, which we can't see on the 1 minute. Does it want to take the previous stay low? The last 4-hour candle is a doji. Price tapped into this hourly SIBI. This is the last, basically the last level of defense before sell side below. I'd like to see price move up and then take a short. That's what I want to see. I'm not long, I am short, especially after London. This here is just accumulation. It's been accumulating or engineering liquidity here. So I want to see it go up. I want to see it sweep all this and then take a short. That's what I want to see. So entry at 9:45. Donald, so you're asking if this 9:45 candle was an entry. So here's the thing. On the higher time frame, you have to know if you're holding, if you think price is going to go lower or higher this morning or today. That's the first thing you have to ask yourself. For price to go higher, it has to go lower first. For price to go lower, it needs to go higher first. I would not have taken a trade off this, even though this may be manipulation, but I would want to see it get above the inverted fair value gap, show some displacement up, come back in and retest, and then move higher. That's the safer. Right now, we're getting a lot of price distortion, probably because there's 10 a.m. news. And we had a nice bold move from London overnight. So we may have delayed manipulation until the 9:45, until the 10:45 macro. So at this point, I am hella patient because this is a lot of chop right now. There's nothing decisive in here. This is price distortion. Is price sweeping out under here? The the engineering of liquidity, probably the better bet is over top here, engineering of liquidity. If you're looking to take a scalp and not staying in too long, you could ride this up. That would be a counter trade trend, but I would wait. I would wait until I see nice displacement above the inverted fair value gap, change in the state of delivery, a retest, and then up. That's what I would wait for. I would never, I don't like taking these quick trades off one candle. We've got 10 a.m. news. Also beware when the 4-hour candle opens, because that will give you good insight into whether price is going higher or lower. But remember, for price to go lower, it must go higher first, purge liquidity, and then reverse. This is kind of like yesterday, where even on the 1 minute, we're not getting a clear fair value gap. Price came down, came back up, came back down, purged this. And this is our down close candle at 942. Back up. Again, I'm bearish on the higher time frame. Oh, I'm just an ICT student. I'm not giving any advice. I'm just tape reading. I'm just brain dumping here what I'm seeing. But I'm bearish on the higher time frame. So I want to see this engineered liquidity swept. There's a reason the price was doing this morning. Okay, it's engineering liquidity. And look at the 4-hour candle. We're right back to where price opened, right? Price opened, came down, came up, open, low, high, close, right back to where we started. So there was our change in the state of delivery, but without seeing a fair value gap. Again, this was very choppy, the same as yesterday morning. Compare that to London last night. London was clean last night. This did drop into the new week opening gap, so that's nice. Here's the low, and again, if you rush in, you don't want to be the first one at the party. Not till you have like a lot more experience. I don't like being first one at the party. I want some confirmation. The thing you have to ask yourself, Donald, if you had decided to enter, say, on this candle, where would your terminus have been? I know where your stop loss would have been, but where would your terminus have been? Where would you, and what was your RR in that plan? Where would you have taken partials? Would your RR be, or sorry, would your terminus be above AM1 perhaps? Since we're in AM2, is this where you would have exited? Would you have left a runner? If you had left a runner, where would the next terminus be? You have to have the answers to all those questions before you enter a trade. Look at the chop on the 1 hour, right? The last 1, 2, 3, 4, the last 5 hours. So we've taken this high again. I want to see, I want to see, I want to sell above midnight when possible. Like that to me is the barometer. I don't want to be selling below midnight. Previous day low. NQ has still not taken previous day low, but that's okay because ES and YM have. We learned that from yesterday. Remember yesterday, YM took the low, ES and NQ did not, and then we got higher prices. That was thanks to Lebir, who brought that to our attention. So off of the London move, we have these two SIBIs. That would take us above midnight. ES wicked, Levere, from what I'm seeing. This is ES on the 1 hour. We wicked at 9 a.m. I could be wrong, but maybe just confirm that. Or do you mean yesterday? Maybe you meant yesterday. But this morning, ES and YM have taken previous day low, and NQ has not. So again, just looking on the hourly here was the move from London, right? Here was the move from London. To be above the liquidity at the highs. One hour SIBI, we've tapped into it. This was the run. This was the run from London last night. So we've got one. Let's just put them on the hourly just to make it a little more consistent. So we've got, sorry, 1 second. Let's move this. Just waiting for the 10 a.m. news to come out here. So we've got this hourly here. This would be our higher time frame. We've got this SIBI, which we've tapped into. Love to see it get above midnight. Doesn't have to. I'd like to see price at least come up to this SIBI and then go lower. I'm just going to take this off because we know that 10 a.m. news has just come out. So we've tapped into here. We've taken out this liquidity. Let's see if price wants to move a little higher. I keep calling you Levere. So here we are on the hourly with our 1 hour SIBIs here. Like to see price come above that. I really do want to see price come up above midnight, maybe here. So here's the question that I'm always asking myself is, let's just say, you got a good entry on London and you wrote this down, and today you have a bearish, um, a bearish favoritism, so to speak. Question is, do you exit? Do you exit the trade? Just, be content with enough, get out, and then watch price the next morning and see, if you could just be happy with catching this move. And I probably wouldn't trade again. But the question is, when do you stay in the trade? And when do you just exit, take your profits, and then reconsider the next morning and look for the next setup? This is the question that I ask myself. Now, I've caught some banger trades by staying in London, but when we look at a morning like today, your profits could be eaten up pretty quickly, even if, say, you had 100 points in the bag. If you got in here and then you came down to here, like you've already lost half your profits, and there's no guarantee that we're going to go, we might come all the way up to here, in which case you've lost all your profits from overnight. Anyway, I'm interested what you guys think and what your modus operandi is. Would you just exit, what time is this? Like 5:45, 5:35. Just exit by, like, ICT always says, just exit your trades at 5 a.m., move to the sideline and wait for the next opportunity. I know that's what he says. But when I watch some of the traders that I follow who are looking for the daily distribution, and for a continuation, it really is beautiful. But you are risking, if you had entered here and now price is up here, like, you're kind of kicking yourself, right? Anyway, that's a question that I'm always asking myself. And if you guys have any insight or want to share how you would manage this kind of trade, I'd be interested to know. Okay, so let's look at the 10 a.m. So we have open, low, we're moving higher. On the 4 hour, we could fill this wick gap here, right here. So price could come up to here, which is inside this SIBI, right? That's what we're looking at. Yeah, XMT. I happen to love London because it's so clean. Like, when there's a trade in London, to me, it's a very clean trade. Like, and I guess it's because it doesn't have the volatility that New York has. You take your money and run. Okay. Okay, good to know. Yeah. Yeah, because otherwise you risk, you know what? Maybe the idea is you take some profit, you leave one runner through New York Open, and then you're not going to cry if price comes all the way up here. And then if price comes up here, maybe you add to the position and write it down. Let's see if we can get above midnight here. So we're 10 o'clock candle. Here's our open. Open, low, high, which we're rejecting off, right? If we extend this across. We have an SMT. It's 10:06. I want to see it come above midnight. I've said this like a million times. I sell above midnight and I buy below midnight. 90-minute SMT. Let's just go to the 1 minute. I usually long under 7:30 a.m. and short over 7:30 a.m. Long for 7:30 and short under 7:30. Okay. Well, here's midnight. Here's midnight up here, right? So we're below midnight. I want to be greedy. I want to see price come up to this Sibi here. This was made in London last night. So this is the hourly. So I want to see that would take us above midnight, right? That would take us above midnight. Now you've got smart money making everybody think that prices are going to go higher. Everybody's going to go long. Rule of thumb is for me on the 4-hour candle, if we have a wick above and a wick below, it's a wait for me. It's an indecision. I want to see like firm decision. If we look at the 1 hour, here's our open, low, it went high, but it came right back down. I'm gonna be patient. I want to see price come up here. I want to get apples for 5 cents today. Let's see if this works. And let's just look on the 1 minute, see if we can see a 1 minute reversal. So we came up here. Swept this high. We came back down. We don't have a great fair value gap, but let's just say this one. Price came down, we came up, we swept, we came back down. We need to come below this, come back into it, and then descend. And we don't have a fair value gap up here. Again, we got a lot of wicks, it's messy. We did come into this new day opening gap. I think this is still a target up here. Why would smart money just take price to here and then drop it? It's going to try and be as cheap as possible, right? I just think this is a target here. So, Donald, you should take this. This should be one for your trading journal. These are like I don't know what kind of trader you are, if you're like a scalper or whatever, but I would be taking like a screenshot of this, dumping it into your journal and making notes bit by bit, whether like what you were looking for and where you would have got into and out of the trade and what the pros and cons would have been. I want to see a smart money reversal like we saw in London last night. That is the golden, that's an A+ setup for me. I have to admit, like it really bugs me when I miss a trade like that. I have to say, I know I'm not supposed to have FOMO, but I gotta be honest. Like when I see a trade like that, especially after a week where like there hasn't been much opportunity. So just looking at this here, so this is the big push up here. So changing the state of delivery to the downside is here. But I think we're gonna push up to here. Guys, so you know, depending what your trading strategy is, if you believe the price is going up here, you know, this fair value gap here is a potential entry. I'm not giving advice. I would never give advice. I'm an ICT student. Price is showing weakness. This is the change in the state of delivery. High, low, higher high. If we get below here, that gives us our breaker. Then we'd want to see price come back in and then move down. It's 10:12. We have a doji on the 4-hour candle. So you could look at this black down close candle here as an order block. You wouldn't want to see price break below this order block. And I've just put the body on, not the wick, but that's the same place as the change in the state of delivery to the downside. That's like a key level. Is price going to remain above that and go up to here? Or are we going to break above here, come back and retap, and then continue lower? High, low, higher high. We need a lower low for a breaker. Back into the breaker and then continue lower. I like a close below. Think of it as a breaker block. For a breaker block, we want to close below. If you don't get a close below, it's weak, right? You want smart money to show you its hand. When smart money wants to show you where it's going, it's giving you big bold candles like this. Again, it's 43 seconds before this candle closes, so it could do anything. But you want to see we want to see smart money tipping its hat to us. Like I say, I'm interested in up here. Come on up here. This gives us a way better entry if we're going to go short. See, there was no close below. There was no breaker. There's no breaker because this is just a wick, right? So we have high, low, higher, high. We did not get a lower low. That is weakness to the downside and strength to the upside. This is respecting this inverted fair value gap. The first macro is ending now, so we might see some price distortion. And then I'm going to wait for 10:45 to see if we get a push up to here. Here's our London high, right? That's where we made the high early this morning at, what did I say it was? 320? 230. No, 320. 320. Right here. There's the London high. There's the London high line. So for price to come back up into this area here, see if we can get a mitigation block and then take price lower. So, so I kind of like, we made a move up, we made a move down. We made a move up, we took out this liquidity here. We came back down, but we did not close below the change in the state of delivery or market structure shift or whatever you want to call it. Change of character, whatever you want to call it. We did not close below it. If we had closed below it, I would still want to see, if we closed below it, I'd still want to see a return to the inverted fair value gap and then a move lower. And that is confirmation. Back up again. If this is a mitigation block, I can't see it on the 1 minute. ES is below this hourly SIBI. NQ is below this hourly SIBI, and YM is a doji inside. So for price to go lower, we would want to see everybody break below the SIBI, below the previous day low, retest it, and come down. We don't see that on the higher time frame yet. Trying to keep my chart clean here, so let me just move this out of the way. So we have our hourly SIBIs up here. We have one more in here. So let's just put that one in. We have an hourly SIBI from here to here. And I'm just going to move this over a little bit so we can see this very clearly, that we have these three hourly SIBIs. And I'm going to just take this off because I think we all recognize the smart money reversal from this morning. through the change in the state of delivery. Doji on the 4-hour still. Anyone who went long here just got stopped out. Anyone who went long here just got stopped out. That's how wicked smart money can be. Now let's see if it makes a run for here and stops out everyone who went short here. I'm going to take this off. It's no longer relevant. I'm going to move to the 5 minutes. Just want to get some perspective here. There's no SMT to the downside. Again, we've got a doji candle on the 4-hour. You know, this has been a theme of the week, this morning garbage. This was yesterday. It just seems like this week has been few opportunities to get that nice long range. And last night was one of them. which I'm really annoyed with myself that I missed. But anyway. There we go. Look at that. Anyone who positioned themselves to go short. Price has come down once, twice, three times, swept all this out. We might see a move up to closer to the highs of London, maybe get a mitigation block. This is difficult to sit through. You know, if you decided to go long here, this is really difficult to sit through. I would just like one clean, beautiful trade this week. That's what I would like. So anyone who positioned themselves long here, Smart Money has taken them out of the trade. Anyone who went short here, they're about to take out, possibly. First presented fair value gap on ES. Very nice. For anyone who trades that as their strategy, that that was a nice push up. Yeah, so if we see a sweep that high, then that would be a nice short. So I think that Smart Money, I'm just going to throw this out to you guys. Remember, Smart Money is cheap. What I mean by cheap is they want to sell at the highest possible price and then take price low and buy it back at the lowest price, right? So they want to sell you apples for 5 cents and then they want to buy them back at $2. So we still have these areas up here from London that London made. We have these areas of where price was not delivered efficiently. So I'm waiting for price. I want to see price go above midnight, okay? Because I don't like to sell below or at midnight. I want to sell as far above midnight as possible. So if price can come up to here, even maybe a little bit higher, if I can find some fair value gaps, maybe on the smaller time frame, and see if we get a mitigation block, and then see price go low. That's what I'm looking for, I guess. Might not happen, but that's what ideally I'm looking for. Why would smart money want to sell from here when they could sell from up here, I guess? My target would be somewhere in this SIBI, maybe previous day low. Now, This is a big push up. So now our change in the state of delivery for the downside is going to be here. See how this is a difficult, when we get a change in the state of delivery that is really, really long, you got to wait for price to come all the way down here, come back in. So this is a good example of when a change in the state of delivery is, this is a tricky change in the state of delivery to trade. Because if you get in up here and you don't wait for the change in the state of delivery, you're not getting a confirmation. But if you wait for price to get all the way down here, that's there's a lot of points on the table. But let's see. The thing is, we have an SMT. Do we have that on YM? Still think greedy smart money is might be coming up here. Let's wait for the next macro because the next macro might push it right up. So if you think prices are going higher, then the change of the state of delivery to the upside is right here. Right? Because then we are looking at what caused this big movement here is, let me just think, high, low, higher, high, change in the state of delivery, push up. Maybe. I just think, smart money doesn't like to leave money on the table. And this is, I don't know, this is glaring. Who is it? Is it ICT or Zeusy Frank? I'll just call him both because it's one and the same. Who says that the market does this? The market is doing this because 95% of people are just not patient enough to wait through it. Like I just, one way or the other, you just need some confirmation, right? Like it's not about being right. It's about just looking at the market objectively and saying, when do I have enough evidence? When do I have enough confirmation of order flow? And right now, when I look at this, we could go either way. It's just here, smart money being greedy, that for them to leave this on the table, I don't know. But William, you could be absolutely right. We might not get above here. Um, but ES and NQ, we don't have a divergence. And I know we do with YM. I get that. I just like to see a divergence with ES. But this could be it. This could be the high. But remember, the macro is starting in a couple minutes here. And I think we're going to see it maybe shoot up to here. But I don't know. I'm just hypothesizing, guys. Price came down, took out the lows here. I'm just looking for an inverted fair value gap. Price came down, came up, came down one more time, came up, came back into this inverted fair value gap, and then we may see a push up. Again, it can go either way. I'm showing you how this inverted fair value gap and fair value gap here, BISI, could be the move for the play up. And we have an SMT here on the 30 minutes. Where's change in the state of delivery? So change in the state of delivery for the movement up. This is the low. So this is the change in the state of delivery here. Displacement through the 10 a.m. opening price. Where's my 9:30? And opening price is midnight. $10.44. So fair value gap, inverted fair value gap, change in the state of delivery, SMT. Could be. You know, it's a bit of a wild card. It's a bit of a wild card. Don't copy my trade. I'm an ICT student. I don't give advice. And 100% sure on this at all. This is not my normal entry. This is just a total wild card, guys. It could come all the way back down to this fair value gap. What was that, one tick? Yeah, that's it. It's just too ugly. Like it could go either way. There's no confirmation here. It could come down, fill this fair value gap, and then turn around and go up, or it could continue down. I have no idea. Yeah, I think it might be like a delayed manipulation because of the nice move overnight with London, but it is respecting the SIBI here. Just looking at the hourly again here. Yeah, I mean it's pretty freaking ugly. Oh, that's good. Yeah, it's a cool way, Sharka, to just kind of take a trade, just giving yourself enough stops. I just hate this ugliness. This is worse than a shark attack on Bondi Beach. I'm just going to take all this stuff off so I can just look at this with a clean eye. There it goes. There we go. There was that fair value gap. It came back in. Wow. Well, it appears to be another bit of a chop shop morning again, guys. I am going to come back at 2:30 for the 2:45. Well, somewhere between 2 o'clock and 2:30 to see if anything materializes, if price can move higher, and then look for a short. But this just seems to be the flavor of the week this morning. Garbage. I just want to see, I want to see price move up, and then I'll be looking for a short because I am I am bearish on the higher time frame. But I think price needs to work its way up here. But look at these wicks, just up and down, up and down, up and down, just complete garbage to trade. On the 1 hour, with NQ not taking the previous day low and ES taking the previous day low, a willingness to go long here, but it would have been brutal to be in this trade this morning because it's so dirty. But just looking on the hourly, I don't know if it's going to get above this hourly here. It came in here on the 1 hour at 3 a.m. This would have been the secondary entry, and then dropped, come back into here. And I do want to see price come higher. I want it to get as far above midnight as possible so I can take a short. And we've got news tomorrow. Lots of news, I think. Advanced GDP quarter over quarter. Core PCE. This is at 8:30. Then at 9:45 we have flash manufacturing, flash services, PMI at 9:45. New home sales at 10. It might even take until tonight, like back into Asia and London, to see prices get back up here again before a drop. Again, on the bigger picture, this SIBI here, which was from Monday, SIBI here, this is the last line of defense into this hourly BISI. So if all three indices drop below this SIBI, then this is looking very interesting. This looks like it's just basically price distortion through here. I mean, it's been engineering liquidity below, engineering liquidity above. We took a little bit of liquidity here. But we still have this above us. So I think patience is the name of the game, just to find that good trade. We're on a downward trajectory. So price came up into the city, we came down, back up, came down just into this. Haven't gone above this hourly, with this looking interesting. So that's it. What else here, William? I think violation of Tuesday's lows will open the floodgate. Tuesday's lows. So look at Tuesday. Violation of Tuesday's lows down here. Well, I have this. I think we're going to violate the lows if all three indices come into here. And if this does not hold, this SIBI from Monday, this is the SIBI here, So price opened, we came down, we came up, and then we came down. It created this SIBI here. So if price cannot hold above this, I think this is looking very attractive. And then the only really line of defense is we do have sell side here. Then we've got this BISI from these three candles. Let me make this a little bigger. This is on the 1 hour. So candle 1, candle 2, candle 3. So this is like, and we've already been halfway through it, right? And then we're looking, this is a strong sell side down here, right? This completes the market maker sell model. And this is initiated from here. And we've had this on our charts for weeks now. So we know this is sell side down here. And price can chop around for, goodness knows how long. So let's just go back to the hourly. But we need to wait for a clean signal. We need a purge of liquidity in an hourly, or higher time frame level, and then a clear smart money reversal. Clear as London. With that nice rundown. So we've got lots of news tomorrow. I'm going to come back and see the afternoon, like if anything. I don't like trading the afternoon. It's not my favorite time, but I am going to take a look. I'm going to keep my chart open and just take a look and see if this SIBI here gives up the ghost, or if we move above it and come up into at least this area here, at least above midnight. And I think it's now just a matter of finding your patience and waiting for price to show us what it wants to do. And just knowing that patience is the name of the game. So we've come all the way up through this SIBI here. Come up, we've come down. We've come down, buyers have stepped in. Buyers have stepped in, buyers have stepped in through this new day opening gap. We even tapped down into the new week opening gap, came up. We don't seem to have enough gasoline to move above this hourly SIBI. So lots of buyers stepping in here. Lots of bulls stepping in here. And if we look on our 4-hour candle, which is our higher time frame, we've got a doji, which is what we don't want to see. The previous 4-hour candle came down, swept the 6 a.m., moved up, but it's quite a small distribution. Like it's quite a tight range distribution. Wick to the upside. So here was the open, high, low, and close. So even though the 6 a.m. candle swept this low from 2 a.m., there's very, very little distribution. Versus this candle, which is where London happened. So this candle price opened, and this is the 2200-hour candle, from 11 o'clock, 11, 12, 1 to 10 o'clock to 2 a.m., this candle. And our London manipulation was at, what did I say? It was 320? 3 o'clock. So 10 o'clock opened, low, high, close. And then the 10 o'clock candle open, high. And then here's the distribution, low, close. And then we've had almost no distribution from 6 a.m. And from the 10 a.m. candle, there's almost no distribution. So this is no bueno. No bueno. So we got to be patient. We got to be patient. We got to wait for smart money to show us where does it want to go and when does it want to go there, most importantly. So the next important macro time is, I like the 2:45, but anywhere from 2 p.m. because 2 p.m. you could, you might see a silver bullet. I'm okay with silver bullets, but I just want to see some expansion up to here and then a low. And our low for Monday, this is Tuesday. This is Tuesday low down here. Here's Monday low. Tuesday took out Monday low, moved up, moved up. And we've come back into the range. And we are mid-range. So if we just look at this range for the week, 50% of the range. Anyway, guys, that's it for the second macro. Too bad there wasn't anything that was really a nice setup, but you know what? That just seems to be the flavor of the week so far this week. It's been tough. So anyway, we'll see. Got lots of news tomorrow, so let's see if news can move, and let's see if we get any movement this afternoon, starting at about 2 p.m. So that macro starts at 1:45 to 2:15, but that's still that's the early AM session. So silver bullet, 2 p.m. possibility. So anyway, okay, guys, thanks for joining. Thanks for your thoughtful insightfulness in the market this morning, and we live to trade another session. So you guys have a great rest of the day. I'm gonna go make something to eat, and I will see you guys tomorrow morning. Bye for now.